How's it going, everyone? We are here. We got a new location today because our current office is under construction, doing a little renovation
Mhm.
in the foyer. So we are in a more quiet place, Ironworks Coffee, right here on the square in Weatherford.
Mhm.
So we're sitting here going to talk a little bit about one of our new products that we just got launched within the last couple weeks. I think it's one of our best products. I'm super excited about this one. So we're going to do a product spotlight on that, and Willis is I'm going to ask you some questions. Maybe you
Okay.
can just kind of fill us in
Yeah.
on this down payment assistance program.
Yeah.
I call it the Hero program. So talk to me a little bit about who can actually qualify for that kind of a loan.
Yeah. So there's a couple different ways we can get you qualified. First one is first-time home buyer. If you're a first-time home buyer, this program it's very easy to get you qualified. Second group is that hero group. So think police officer, firefighter, teacher, nurse, doctor, uh, somebody that works for the post office, somebody in a service organization. There's a third group, and that's volunteers. Volunteers can also qualify. So if you're volunteering somewhere, we can get you
Yep.
qualified for it. And then the final group is based on your income. So if you make less than 140% of your county's median income, then you qualify for this program, even if you've bought a house before. So really, they are trying to get as many people as possible qualified so that they can get into these homes with down payment assistance. Maybe you have decent credit and but you just haven't been able to save up enough money for that down payment.
Yep.
This is a great program for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, talk to me a little bit about what that looks like. So, what is the down payment assistance? Do they have to bring any money to the table, or is it like what does that look like?
So we have two different versions. We have one that has 2% assistance, so they would bring 2% of the purchase price, and you could use that for your down payment. A little bit better rate with that program, but most people go for the 3.5% because it is an FHA loan. FHA requires 3.5% down,
Right.
and so that covers 100% of your down payment.
Okay.
Now, you would be responsible for closing costs, but the amazing thing about the market right now, March 16th, 2023, is that um, there aren't as many buyers out there right now. So
Yeah.
if you get in and get pre-approved for down payment assistance, we can talk to your realtor about maybe putting in offers that are requesting seller concessions that might cover some or all of your closing costs.
Right.
So potentially you could come to the closing table with nothing out of pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. So the cool thing about FHA is the FHA will allow up to 6% of that seller credit um, for your loan. So on a $300,000 loan, you're at $18,000, up to $18,000 for a seller credit. In most cases on a $300,000 loan, you're only going to have about maybe $6,000 or $7,000 in closing costs,
Yep.
maybe including all of your escrows and that sort of thing. So, as Willis mentioned, you're pretty much coming to the table with no money down.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a pretty cool deal. So now, how does let's go back to the gift,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because this is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Does the client are they required to pay that back, or how does that work?
No, they aren't. Now, to understand the benefit of our down payment assistance, you also have to understand how all down payment
Sure.
assistance work.
Right.
So typically, a down payment assistance program is a grant from a local or national or our national government that is a lien against your property for 3 years. After the third year, it's forgiven 100%. So if you stay in your house for 3 years and you don't refinance your loan for 3 years, then you don't have to pay that back.
Right.
The problem is that with down payment assistance, your rate is higher. So right now we're quoting maybe 6.25 for a standard FHA loan with no down payment assistance. But with down payment assistance, you're at 7.75 or 7.5.
Yeah.
So
Much.
you're
Yeah.
locked into a much higher rate for 3 years.
Yep.
And traditionally, that was the only way. But you got into a house and it was great. If you could afford the payment, you were good to go for 3 years. Now, though, with our program, still have the higher rate, but it's forgiven almost immediately.
Right.
But FHA requires you to keep one of their loans for at least 7 months. So after 7 months have elapsed, we can do what's called a streamline refinance and get you into a lower rate that's more affordable. And if rates are going where we think they're going, then you'll be a much lower payment just 7 months after you bought your house. So the idea is get into the house with as little money as possible,
Right.
and then refinance into that low payment that you're going to have for the rest of the life of the loan potentially.
Awesome. So a couple of cool things about this. I'm working on run one right now. It's so FHA has a couple different products that they offer, and the one is, which is a pretty common one, is the FHA 203K, which is their renovation loan. So you can go in, purchase a home, and then also finance the renovation to fix up a home that might need some TLC. And it can be as little as, under 35,000, you can do that pretty much on your own. Or if it's over 35,000, then you're going to need a contractor to kind of work through. But essentially, you could get a home bought off with the DPA assistance, get the renovations done, roll that into the loan, and then in 7 months, like you said, go ahead and refinance that down, and you're probably going to save upwards of 150 or more dollars, depending on where rates end up today. I think the spread today is about $150.
Yeah. Yeah.
Willis, so when you're talking to a client, like say somebody out there is interested in this, they want to do the down payment assistance, what are the kind of next steps for them? What do they need to do? They give you a call. What kind of things do they need to be thinking about in getting pre-approved?
So first thing is give us a call, reach out to us, and then we would get a link to you to fill out an application. And we can put that down in the comments below. We'll have our number and our application link down there. Fill out an application. Once the application's been filled out, we can go through and see exactly where we are, because there are some requirements for the program.
Right.
Your credit needs to be above 620.
Right.
And your debt to income ratio has to be below 49%. So that means that your gross monthly income, basically divide it by 2 and takes a little bit more off, all of your monthly payments have to be below that number. And so we need to look at your credit. We need to see how many items you have on your credit card to see where your debt to income ratio is and to see where your credit score is. Now, if you have credit that's too low for that, we have a great program where we'll reimburse you up to $500 of the cost to get your credit repaired. Takes a couple months to do, and we have that link on our website, which we'll put down in the comments below as well. So first thing is to reach out to us. Let us see exactly where we're at first, and then we can get in and kind of build a plan for you on how to get you into that down payment assistance program and ultimately into your first home or your second or third or 10th.
Awesome. Yes.